Good morning, boys and girls. Today we are going to discuss the question based on algebra. Solve for x. So it will be your question number 1 in grade 11 exam as well as in your grade 12 exam. It will be maybe for 2 mark or maybe 3 mark or maybe 5 mark depending on the situation. So here we are here I'm going to show you 3 different type of questions which can be asked. The first one is here is I got 2 brackets and equals to 0. So if I'm applying my grade 10 knowledge and I'm indicating total marks are 2, here I'm indicating total marks are 4, and here the total marks are 5. So marks, they're telling me whatever marks are there, they are telling me how much work is required. This 2 mark tells me that it's a straightforward calculation. It means my first bracket x minus 3 equals to 0 or x minus 4 equals to 0. And therefore, if I transpose 3, the other side x equals to 3 or x equals to 4. This looks like 2 marks work, and I'm done with this example. 2 step, 2 answers, I'm done. If I'm looking at this example, it says 4. Only the difference between these 2 examples is on the right hand side, I have equals to 12. So most common problem you boys and girls experience here or you write in the exam or test, understand that it's x minus 3 equals to 12. The way you use 0, x minus 4 equals to 12, it's a wrong concept. You can't equate these 2 equations. The first bracket equals to 12, second bracket equals to 12 when you have any other number other than 0. Yeah, Zoya? Yeah, sorry for the interruption. My daughter just came in to ask something in case he's gone. So now let's go back to our question. So how do we attempt this question? So the first thing, I have to open up the bracket using the FOIL method. So if I apply a FOIL method, I can keep multiplying x times x, x times minus 4, minus 3 times x times minus 4. And then whatever answer I get from there, that will show me the way. So if I say x times x is going to be x squared minus x times negative 4 is negative 4x minus 3 times x is minus 3x, negative 3 times negative x is going to be positive 12 equals to 12, transpose 12 the other side, x squared minus 3x minus 4x, if I put it together to like terms, minus 7x plus 12 minus 12 equals to 0. Cancellation, you can take it out, x common here, x minus 7 equals to 0, and therefore I can say x equals to 0 or x equals to 7. I can see this one is a bit more work than my previous example. Obviously, more work, more marks. So this is how we deal with the example. Then I have the other side of the equation, which is not equals to 0. So 2 brackets are the same both the side, but the other side is the second example is not equals to 0, equals to 12. So my work will start with expanding 2 brackets or multiplying 2 brackets. Okay, this is the third kind of example, which might be asked as inequality question. It says that for what are the values of x for which this equation value or the multiplication of 2 bracket value is greater than 12. So we're going to follow exactly the same method by multiplying these 2 brackets. So it will give me x squared minus 7x plus 12 greater than 12. Transpose 12 this side, so plus 12 and minus 12 greater than 0. What I'm left with, x squared minus 7x So plus 12 and minus 12 will get cancelled. So I'm left with x squared minus 7x, which is greater than 0. So I'm having x minus 7 greater than 0. So I have fully factorized, so it means it's going to give me critical values where my first bracket equals to 0, which is x equals to 0, from the second bracket x equals to 7. Once I get the critical value, then I must indicate those critical values on the number line. X squared, my graph related to x squared is a parabola shape, and the parabola shape will have those two critical values which I just found it. So that's 0 and then x equals to 7. So then I'm going to go and look for what is required of me. Required of me is greater than equals to or greater than 12. Greater than 12 indicates that the graph is, my graph is in three parts. One is above x-axis from 0, one is the above x-axis after 7, and the one which is between 0 and 7, this region. So this region is negative y-axis, my y values are negative. Above x-axis, my y values are positive. So my y values are positive of this graph. For my graph is positive after 0 to the left hand side. So I am going to write my answer will be x less than 0. This part of the graph which is required, I'm looking for positive value of in my equation. Is greater than 12 or greater than 0. So greater than 0 indicates that I'm looking for positive side of the graph. So therefore my answer for this is x greater than 7. I hope you have enjoyed this video. There's only one small difference between these three examples. One example is the 2 bracket and equals to 0 for 2 mark. That tells me that is straight first bracket 0, second bracket 0. I get the value of x from there, I get the value of x from there. It will give you 2 marks. The second type of question, it says, is it equal, not equals to 0, equals to something. So that means my job is to go through a FOIL method for this 2 bracket, bring the number which is on the right hand side to the left hand side, and then follow up the method. Then you will get few more marks there. So the third type of questions is inequality question, where my working out method is exactly the same what we had in that example number 1, example number 2, but here it's inequality question. So my answer will go through drawing the shape of the graph which is given, depending on your question. If x squared is positive, then it's a smiley face. If x squared is negative, then I'm going to go sad face. These are the just understanding the words. There is no smiley face and sad face word in maths. So I think that's where we are done. Later on, we'll do one or two different examples which indicates greater than, or another example with less than or greater than equals to included values. Oh, we'll see it later. I hope you will understand this example, and if you still find any difficulty, you can write me. I'll try to work differently, and then we'll see how we can make this type of questions easier. Thank you.